Hello, Sashake and everyone watching. My name is Jeremy Tan, and my matrix number is D80A0010. And today, my group members and I will be presenting on our entrepreneur's profile. And my group members are Mohammad Kasyfi, Mohammad Firdaus, Syuhada, and also myself. Now, for this assignment, we were tasked to look for an entrepreneur that is related to our field of study, which is veterinary medicine. We decided to go for an entrepreneur that is involved in the food industry and also livestock. And why we chose to do so is because we believe it might inspire us to venture outside the typical small animal practice that we see in clinics and also increase our knowledge on livestock. And we also think that it might help us be more better prepared for dealing with businesses involved in the food industry, as we have to manage the welfare of animals and also the standard operating procedure for these animals. Yes. So I would like to note that due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we were not able to conduct a live interview with our entrepreneur, but we were still able to do an online interview through Google Meet, and the message was conveyed effectively, efficiently. We managed to learn from our entrepreneur regardless. So yeah, the entrepreneur we decided to choose is Encik Muhammad Firdaus bin Zainal Azwan, who is the founder of a butchering business called Meat Expert. So we decide to choose this business because when we looked up Meat Expert, we saw that the ratings on Google and also Facebook were high, with 4.5 on Google and 5 out of 5 on Facebook. And majority of the ratings, the majority of the reviews, they talked about how he's friendly, how he's knowledgeable, he knows about meat, he knows about the types of meat, about what a customer would want in certain meals, and also he is patient, he explains things well. And so this is why we decide to go and choose Meat Expert as our business, and Encik Firdaus as our entrepreneur. Okay. Also, so we conducted our interview session on the 5th of June 2020, around 9 p.m. online through Google Meet, as I mentioned. And there were some minor issues, such as some background noise from passing cars from some of us. However, Encik Firdaus was still patient, and he was courteous and answered all our questions without fail. And this showed us how he would normally convey and converse with his customers, which is a good thing to know. Okay, next, I'll let the next presenter talk.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mohammad Kasyfi bin Yazid, and my matric number is D18A0019. So I will continue the presentation, and my part is entrepreneur background and company background. So we talk first. We talk about the entrepreneur background. So the name of the entrepreneur is Muhammad Firdaus bin Zainal Azwan. He is 30 years old, male, ethnicity, he is a Malaysian and a Malay. So he is origin from Shah Alam, and a founder of the Akika.com and Meat Expert. So how did he start the business? So at 21 years old, Mr. Firdaus started a small business on the street. Then he opened a business license by registered his name at the Company Commission of Malaysia, SSM, to get the business registration certificate at 2014. So SSM is basically the board that is formed through the merging of register of business and register of companies, and which play a role on to assist users in registration, renewal, and reduction of both business and company. So Mr. Firdaus registered his SSM under contractor field. So in 2017, Mr. Firdaus established the Akika.com under Legit Asal Sdn Berhad company for his planning on the project marketplace for ruminant production. So marketplace is where the location of people regularly gather for the purchase and sale of livestock industry. Its marketplace for ruminant production is focused on bovine and caprine. The company is still actively run until now. And before it started the business related to the livestock industry, he already had the knowledge about the meat production and the meat management of livestock industry in Malaysia. So he also attended a butchery training program almost a year in Macan, Kelantan to pursuing a certificate related to meat processing or meat science. And this program have an opportunity to take courses such as meat evaluation, meat processing, meat selection, and meat industry. So in 2009 and 2019, with the collaboration from Koperasi Pendidikan Usahawan Berhad, Mr. Firdaus succeed on pursuing his dream by the establishment of Meat Expert Premium Butcher Malaysia, Insya-Allah. So he started the business by not using any of his money or modal. The Koperasi Pendidikan Usahawan Berhad helped him by funding the startup cost of the company, and he told us that modal or investment not only distributed in the form of money. It is also important to have a great social skills. The collaboration with other company and how they interact with each other play an important role to decreasing the startup costs. So what are the factors which lead to the creation of business? So Mr. Firdaus mentioned that he want to increase the quality of local meat to the international standard. So meat quality is usually defined as a measurement of attributes or characters that determine the suitability of meat to be eaten as fresh or stored for a reasonable period without deterioration. And Mr. Firdaus said in the interview section, which the opening of Meat Expert Premium Butcher Malaysia is to increase the quality of local meat in Malaysia to the level of international standard. He also said that the quality of local meat has a higher potential to achieve a same standard as Australia, New Zealand, and even meat standard in the United States of America. So this is because the demand of the local meat is highly recommended within the country, even other countries also. So the second one is different type of industry compared to other businesses, which may produce more advantages. So as we all know that Mr. Firdaus choose the meat industry, which did not have much attention compared to other industry in Malaysia. But somehow, potential of this industry to become highly demanding is much bigger than other industries in Malaysia. This is because food is an essential part of our life, and food industry comprises a complex network of activities pertaining to the supply, consumption, and catering of food, products, and services across the countries and worldwide. So the third factors which lead to the creation of business is the potential of meat industry itself. This is because the potential of meat industry is high, especially during the MCO, the Movement Control Order in Malaysia during the outbreak of COVID-19, because he mentioned that the demand from the customer increased up to 300%. So this is shown that the food is very essential to our life. So we move on to the company background, and as we all know that the name of the company is Meat Expert Premium Butcher Malaysia. And what type of business is he running, and in what industry? So one of the reasons why Mr. Firdaus applied the certificate of butchery program was to get the knowledge about courses in meat evaluation, and meat technology. This opportunity helped him to get more deeper in livestock industry, especially for meat production. So the type of business is he running is meat production. So the mission, Mr. Firdaus running is Mr. Firdaus running the meat production with a mission to provide finest premium meat to their customers, and he chose to be part of the livestock industry because he wanted to increase the quality of local meat and magnify the local meat industry to the world-class standard. So the type of breed of meat production which his company offered to his consumer are local prime, which is Kelantan, the BCL breed, which combine Brahman, Cheroli, and Limousine, Angus, and Wagyu. The meat experts founder also has a vision for his company, which is seek to be the leading player in the Malaysia meat industry by harnessing the competitive advantage of his uniquely connected food system to create the most premium meat products for his diverse local consumers. So, who are the target customers? So, Mr. Firdaus mentioned in the interview, the target customer are the people around the Klang Valley, which is the place where entrepreneurs can get high potential market and specific target market. And he also planning to increase the company branches, and he also said that there are some problem, which is for example, there are not enough couriers to transport the products to the countrywide. So the target customers, Syuhada will mention about it in the BMC part. So, so we move on to the next slide. So how does he run the business? So firstly, the meat processing started by taking an excellent care for the livestock animals in their farm at Redland, which is Tanah Merah, Kelantan, and the type of breed of meat production which his company chose to be offered for his consumers, just like what I said earlier, which are local prime, BCL, Angus, and Wagyu. And he also his company also provide high quality feed from grass to grain to keep the livestock healthy and grow well. And once the livestock have reached matured weight, they are slaughtered at the abattoir complex of the Veterinary Department of Malaysia, and all of their slaughter is certified by the Jabatan Agama Islam Negeri Selangor, which is JAIS. And after that, to keep the meat always in a fresh condition, the meat will be delivered by chiller, blast lorry, which with a temperature control of 2 to 5 degrees Celsius. And the last step is the live fine cut will do, and it depends on the demand at meat expert shop. So they will ensure only fresh meat and top quality cut by their well-trained butcher is served. Then then the meat is ready to market for fresh meat and dining. So how much employees does he have? So looking at the chart in the slide, Mr. Firdaus Zainal is the managing director, and under his managing, he also have Taufik Saidi, head of marketing, Shahidan Jais, the farm manager, and Ikran Hanafi, which is head of butcher. And under Ikran Hanafi also have we have Walid Zamri, a butcher, Amri Rishad, also a butcher, and Hafiq Farhan, a butcher. So that's all from me. I will pass on the presentation to Firdaus Herman. So thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Mohammad Firdaus bin Herman. For my part, I will cover the entrepreneur's family background, past working experience, resources available to the entrepreneur when starting up his own business, and the entrepreneur's primary motivation to start up his own business. So let's first take a look at the entrepreneur's family background. Mr. Firdaus comes from a middle class family. During our interview, he mentioned that he did not come from a well-off family, nor does he come from a family of lower household income. His parents ran a school canteen catering business where they have a contract with school to run the canteen. During our interview, Mr. Firdaus mentioned that he helped his parents to run the business a lot during his younger days, and it was at that time he was inspired by his parents' dedication, where they woke up very early in the morning to get to work. He believed that this is one of his triggers, which makes him to want to pursue entrepreneurship. So for the next part is the entrepreneur's working experience, past working experience. Mr. Firdaus has worked on several multiple jobs before he opened up his current business, Meat Expert. One of those jobs are selling street burgers, become a pavement contractor, and after that he started to open up his own business, theakikah.com, where they sell livestock, specifically goats and cattle. It was during this time Mr. Firdaus learned a lot about the livestock industry, or more specifically the ruminant industry, and it was also at that time he met several people which would later become part of his team at his new business, Meat Expert. So resources that available to Mr. Firdaus before starting up. Mr. Firdaus firmly believes in knowing one's self-value before starting up. He mentioned that by knowing one's self-value, we can cover what we lack and utilize what we have. So, Mr. Firdaus, before opening his Meat Expert business, he went to Kelantan to learn butchering at Kompleks Abattoir Veterinary in Machang, Kelantan. After he finished his study, he then went on to collaborate with Koperasi Pendidikan Usahawan Berhad, where Koperasi Pendidikan Usahawan Berhad fund him money to open up his own business. So from here we know that resources available, one of the few resources that available to Mr. Firdaus was his butchering knowledge, and with that butchering knowledge, he managed to convince Koperasi Pendidikan Usahawan Berhad to fund him the money or the initial capital that he need to open up his butchering business, Meat Expert. He also states that to start up a business, friends and networking are very important, because at the early stage or at the startup stage, most of your customers are from your friends and your networking. And for the last part is the primary motivation to start up. Mr. Firdaus mentioned that there are several things that motivates him to open up his current business, Meat Expert. One of them is the communal obligation as a Muslim, or fardu kifayah. When asked about why he wanted to open up his butchering business, he said that in Malaysia, there is lack of butcher that offers a prime cut service to the consumer directly. And most of those butcher that do offers prime cut business tend to offer their service to steakhouse owner, or they themselves are the steakhouse owner. This means that consumer has lack of this means that consumer has less way to obtain prime cut raw meat and cook the way they want to cook. This causes Mr. Firdaus to want to open up his own butcher shop and serve the consumers and community. And he also firmly believes that as a Muslim, this is the fardu kifayah, or the communal obligation stated in one of the Islamic ways. Another reason why he wanted to promote another reason of his motivation is he wanted to promote Malaysian meat industry. He said by opening his current business, he is carrying the name of Malaysian butcher, and also he believed that this is the best way to promote Malaysian meat industry to Malaysian society. He believed that ruminant industry is very underlooked or overlooked, where most people tend to ignore Malaysian ruminant industry and try to get their sources from other country. He said that by promoting Malaysian meat industry, it would help the community and the country economy all together. So that is all for my part.
Assalamualaikum and good morning, Sir Shakir and all of my fellow friends. So my name is Syuhada Salleh, and now I'll be presenting about the business model canvas of Meat Expert Company. So as we all know, is BMC business plan is actually a strategic management tool that can quickly and easily define about the certain business concept. So the first one is actually the customer segment. So customer segment is actually what is the potential customer that is targeted by the company. So for Meat Expert, they actually targeted the residents of Shah Alam and Klang Valley as their targeted customer. So why? Because this company is actually located in Section 9 Shah Alam, and so that's why they are targeting the customer that are living nearby to their company, so they can promote the meat industry to the nearby area first, because this company is actually a new company that only started up about X months ago. So the second one is actually they also targeted food industry such as restaurant and also BBQ place as their targeted customer. And this company actually have high demand from other states such as Terengganu, Kedah and Kelantan, but they actually have problem in finding the suitable courier that can actually transport their meat to the other state. So they are still facing their problems. So the next one, of course, they are targeting customer which are meat lovers. So the next one is actually value proposition. So value proposition is actually what does the company can offer to their potential customer, and how the value can actually attract the customer to continue buying their products. So the first one is this company actually have butchering services. So according to Mr. Firdaus, the butchering services are not many company that can provide this kind of service. So that's why their company can gain high demand, because they have hired the head butchers that can providing premium meat quality, premium meat cuts such as tenderloin, sirloin, and others. So, and this company actually have their own farm in Tanah Merah, Kelantan, which they actually produce the meat by themselves. And the meat is also reasonable, of course, because they have their own farm. They give the cattle the premium feed from grains and also grass, and the meat is also from high quality cattle breed, which is the breed is such as Kelantan breed, Limousin breed, and also Black Angus. The next BMC part is actually channel. So for channel, this company actually promoting their product by first one is social media. So why is social media? Because so that this company can reach their customer that stay far away from them. So for example, Instagram and also Facebook. So in the social media, they actually keep posting about their meat products such as meatball cheese and patties, and also they also can answer the customer questions from the social media. And the next one is face-to-face direct sale, where when potential customer coming to their company, they will actually providing good customer service, and they also giving the cooking method for every meat cuts, because every meat parts have their own best cooking method so that it can taste better. So, and then the next one is the key resource, the customer relationship. So how they build their relationship with their customer, and how they want the customer to be loyal to them. So the first one is by their approach to the customer, because according to Mr. Firdaus, he believed that some of the customer need personal advices, so the staff will actually help the customer to know which part of meat is best for their preference. And also they approach the customer by, of course, online. So whenever the customer asking the questions, they will always answering them with politely. And the next one is revenue stream. So how do they gain revenue and to cover up their costs and to ensure they can maintain and also can expand their business? So the first one is by selling various homemade products, meat products. So for example, they actually gain the meat that they rear at the farm in Tanah Merah, and they actually process the meat into various meat products such as meatball cheese, meat patties, minced beef, and also to tomahawk. So tomahawk is actually the part of meat that are very hard to get in Malaysia. And also they are also providing delivery services to the resident in Shah Alam and also Klang Valley. So this actually can gain them more revenue, especially during this COVID-19, because people can't go out, so they can actually gain so many money from that. And of course, the other one is butchering service, where they can provide the meat cuts that preferred by the customers, and they gain a lot of money from demand during festive seasons such as Eid APT3083 and also Raya Adha, where Mr. Firdaus actually say that the customer need to book first during the festive season due to the high demand. And the next one is actually the key activities. So the key activities is actually what is the unique business strategies that the business can do to deliver their value proposition that I said before. So the first one is by training their staff to provide good customer service to their potential customer. So by this, the customer will feel that they providing good hospitality, and can actually make the customer loyal to them due to good service. And also due to the marketing effort, where actually in their social media such as Instagram and Facebook, they actually keep posting the process of how they cutting their meats every day in the social media, and also they are also providing posting about the cooking methods for the meat that they show in the social media. So they also produce premium meat, and other than the local breed, they also actually providing Wagyu breed, which we all know that Wagyu beef is a very premium meat that is expensive due to its high value taste. And they also, the meat product also packaged in vacuum packaging. So vacuum packaging actually prevent oxygen from and pathogen bacteria from coming into the contact with the meat, so it can actually keep the quality of the meat and improve its shelf life. So that's all for key activities. So, and the next one is actually key resource. So the key resource is what the asset that the company have. So for the key resource, the first one is actually the employee skills. So this meat expert company actually has 6 employees altogether. So the employees actually are divided to every their special skills. So they have a head butcher for the butchering service. They also have a clerk that can manage the financial record of the company, and also they also have a technician, and which in charge of the WhatsApp development. So, and the next one that they have is the machinery equipment, of course, which they need the equipment for butchering service, such as meat cleaver, bone hook, and meat hammer, which they can process the meat easier and faster. And they also need, for the delivery part, they need a chiller blast lorry, where the lorry can actually chill the meat at a temperature of 2 until -5 degrees Celsius. And they also have the capital investment is actually Mr. Firdaus told us that their capital investment, their model for startup for this business actually come from himself, but he also gained help from Koperasi Pendidikan Usahawan Berhad for the model for the company startup. So the next one is the key partners. So how do he gain the key partners is, first one, of course, by networking with friends. So by networking with friends, Mr. Firdaus told that they help each other, although they are from different industries. So his friend will actually help to promote his meat product to other places such as restaurant. So it helped him to gain more key partners by having a good networking with his own friends. So the next one is feed supplier. So as we all know that this company actually have their own farm to breed the cattle. So they actually need to provide a good quality of feed to the cattle. So they provide grain and grass to the cattle so that the cattle can produce higher meat production. And the next one, of course, restaurant. And lastly is equipment supplier. So as I explained before, he need equipment for the butchering services and also the delivery part. So the last one is cost structure. So cost structure is what is the cost drivers for this meat expert company. So the first one is, of course, the farm management. So they need to provide special costs for the farm to allow the management to continue, and also to provide good biosecurity for the farm, and to provide feed for the cattle also. And the next one is meat packaging, because according to Mr. Firdaus, the plastic packaging of the meat products also can affect the cost, because the plastic packaging can tear off so easily, and it actually sometimes can affect the business cost and revenue. So, and then the next one is utilities. So they need to pay for the electricity for every day, the water, and also the natural gas for the delivery service. And the last one is of course, the worker salary. So he needs to pay the salary for all 6 employees. And so that's all from me about the BMC business plan for Meat Expert Company. So thank you.
I'd like to conclude by talking about the things that we've learned from Encik Firdaus on how to start a business and also how to run a business efficiently. So from the moment we contacted him, we realized that he's passionate about his work and he wants to share his knowledge not only about his industry but also on how to run a business. He takes pride in his meat products as they are of high quality and they are not the typical kind of meat that you might buy from the market. Next, we also see that he's knowledgeable and experienced as a butcher and also as a meat seller. He knows which part of the animal is best for which cooking style you're trying to cook. So let's say you're cooking smoked beef for dinner, he will know which part of the animal, which meat is best to produce the best tasting dinner that you can cook. And also, because of this, we can see that in many of the reviews on Google as well as Facebook, many of the customers say that he's knowledgeable and he knows he can provide better service for them because he knows his meat. He can give them this education that other services may not. So adding on to that point, he's also patient and friendly. And I find this very important when you're running a business as a frontliner. You are the one contacting customers, so you have to ensure that you make the environment as warm and welcoming as possible. So based on our interview with him, he's very patient with us. He's very patient when we're asking questions, and also he makes the environment very comfortable for us as he's very friendly. So we were not shy or we were not afraid to ask more questions. And also this shows that how he converse and he conducts and he interacts with his customers, which is why many of the reviews also say that he's friendly and he conveys his message well. Next, he also has proper planning, as through the interview we found out that he plans to open a new branch in Terengganu and also one in Johor. And why he chose to do so is because many of the customers also come from Terengganu and Johor, and because he's selling chilled meat, transportation would be an issue. So opening a new branch in these states where there is demand would solve this issue and also will be able to expand and grow his business. Next, we also noticed that Encik Firdaus is willing to take calculated risks. He said in the interview that in a business, risks are a must, and you have to be willing to take them because that is the only way that your business can grow efficiently and effectively. So when you take these risks, if a problem arises, you solve the problem and then you move on and continue conducting your business. You do not remain static in whatever you're doing. And lastly, he told us that the things that we learned in our university, the things that we learn will go hand in hand with the practices and the experience that we gain from internship or attachments, and it will produce a new kind of knowledge that we will be able to use in the future, where we find a balance that makes a practical situation and a perfect situation possible for our business. And that is all from us. Thank you.